show as a prank. Meanwhile, Bobby struggles and gets out a gun from the cabinet. As he tries to shoot, Kurt grabs the gun from his hand, and in their fight, shots are fired. Kurt then overpowers him and kills Bobby and shows his blood-splattered face on the live stream. Back at Jessie's live show, she's in the car with that dude and they're on their way to Joke Bros. While she's live on Instagram, the guy named Miles makes weird attempts on her and tells her that he's being paid for being so talkative. Back at Bobby's place, Kurt is washing himself up in the shower and showing it on live stream. Upon looking at the stars and having more than 100 people in his live, he rejoices and triumphs. After getting out from the shower, he claims that he's taken over Bobby's setup and puts himself live from his channel. While around 4,000 people are watching him, he gets a text from his dad to come pick him up to go to the club and see Uno, a very famous influencer. As Kurt picks up his dad, he gets in an argument regarding his mother. They both quarrel about it, and suddenly, Kurt's dad finds a gun in the glove box. He inquires why he has the gun with him, to which Kurt replies it's for his own safety. He also explains that the spree job might make him come across thugs, and for that purpose, he keeps a gun. As they drive along, Kurt breaks multiple signals and crosses the red lights. They finally reach the club and Chris goes live. Kurt sees the club to realize it's a strip club, not a dance club. They both meet Uno and her friends. Kurt requests her to come in his live feed and mention him. As she does that, the comments start popping up about how hot Uno is. After a while, Kurt leaves, and as he sits in his car, Uno arrives and asks him to take her to a taco truck. They go to the place and Uno gets her pictures taken by Kurt while he's in the waiting line. Uno gets the pistol from his dashboard and snaps herself while going live as well. In the meantime, Kurt grabs the food and back in the car, Uno takes a sip from the water bottle already in the car. She starts to cough, and as Kurt returns, he finds her unconscious. Just as he's looking at her, two cops pull up and interrogate him. They ask him to come out, and they perform the sobriety test on him. As one of the police officers come up to Uno, she suddenly wakes up, and in her bewilderment, takes out the gun and shoots one officer in the head. Immediately afterwards, she flees from the scene. Meanwhile, Kurt gets back into his car, but is chased by the cops. He drives on the wrong side of the highway and broadcasts everything live. He's excited as his followers and viewers increase and keeps on weaving through the traffic in a very dangerous manner. After a long chase, he gets off the highway, and while he's boasting himself on the live feed, he drives into a construction area where his car topples and crashes upside down. The scene shifts at Joke Bros, where Miles is trying very hard to make the audience laugh, but it doesn't work at all. He then welcomes Jessie Adams on the stage, and everyone is hyped up. She hypes them up even more in her signature style. Suddenly, Kurt comes back on his live feed, and the 30,000 people watching express their excitement for him being alive after his incident. While everybody is live streaming her on social media, Jessie explains the incident she had with Kurt during her spree ride. Kurt gets frustrated with her roasting and making fun of him and is about to shoot her. When she rearranges her words, she explains how she was just like Kurt in the start and how we're desperate for attention. She then announces her retirement from social media by breaking her phone. Upon all that flow of events, Kurt decides not to shoot her and leaves the house. While backstage, Miles films Jessie and hypes up, and she gets extremely agitated and leaves. Back on the road, Kurt orders a taxi. As he settles in, he converses with the old guy, and after some time, he wickedly steals the car from him. Meanwhile, back at the club, Miles is making his attempts on Jessie and asks her if he can drop her home. Instead of going with him, she orders a taxi and leaves. As she sits inside, it's revealed that Kurt is who picked her up. He then converses with her and reminds her that they've met before. Jessie starts to get uncomfortable when Kurt drives the wrong way. She asks him to stop the car, but he keeps on driving and talking. She further freaks out as Kurt states he's taking her to his house. Suddenly, in her defense, she grabs a wire and tries to choke Kurt. He punches her in reaction and she goes unconscious. Kurt then picks her up and